We made it. We're back. We're live. Fresh new blood. New channel. Good to see everyone. Welcome back, guys. My name's Ern. I buy, sell, trade, collect, vend. Whatever else. That guy's trying to back out at the same time as me. Probably not a good idea to start an intro while I'm driving. Welcome back. New channel. We did it. We have officially made a new channel. We have 100 subscribers. Let's freaking go. Honestly, I still am just amazed at the level of support people have in our cards community. There's a lot of love, and it's a little bittersweet because I think it's about time that channel went away. That's old me with a lot of old data and quick story. So let's talk about a couple of things today. The first is we're going to talk about what is this channel, what are we doing, and that sort of thing. So, in yesterday's upload, I had that video ready to go the day before, and I didn't publish it because I was just deliberating, going back and forth in my own head, overthinking, like, oh, do I want to move on to the next channel? Do I want to not, do I want to keep on the existing channel? Just like keep going back and forth. And like, if there's one thing I can tell you, deliberation is bad. Either you do or you don't, you move on. So, in my crazy caffeinated, self-induced stressed mindset, I had it uploaded. It was not published. And then I was like, no, I got to delete it. Lo and behold, I ended up deleting that video in every upload of 2025 on accident. And I don't ask me how. I thought I got hacked at first. Java let me know the other day. He's like, where'd your videos go? I'm like, so I realized what had happened the day after. And in a way, I'm all about karma, calling signs, the greater universe, believing in Arceus. In a way, it was just probably the universe's way of telling me, yo, bro, it's time to move on. And so, if you ever deleted videos off of YouTube before, once they're gone, they are gone. And even though in this day and age, it's a lot easier to keep hard copies of videos and files, I didn't back up like 90% of what I uploaded because I never thought I would need to use it again. And you know how it is, like iPhones and stuff like that. Like 4K video takes up a lot of storage, so I just deleted them all. So 2025 content, all the videos except for the shorts are gone on that channel. It's bittersweet. It kind of sucks, but I think it's probably for the best. Hey, we got 100 subscribers already. So just want to say thanks for the support. Let's talk about this channel and what I aim to do and what this is really about. So I've told this story many times before. If you saw Java's podcast yesterday that I was on for a couple hours, I talked about it as well. I got back in 5 years ago, and I got back in. I got back into cards 5 years ago. And really it was because of COVID, bored, disposable income. I loved cards growing up. I love Pokemon the brand. I've always been a lifelong fan. I bought and bought and bought. Bunch of sealed, opened up a bunch of stuff, and for the first couple of years, I was just accumulating, like, I like to call it Kirby mode. I was going hardcore Kirby mode and just like sucking up all this product and buying all this stuff and just like hoard. I was a hoarder. I'm a hoarder, and it wasn't until the last 2 years that I really started to sell, and I started to sell because I didn't want to keep spending personal money. It adds up very quickly, especially if you're buying, $600 cases of like sets and multiple cases every set. And then plus Japanese comes out every month. A case of Japanese at the time was like $500. So like this stuff adds up very quickly. If you're not making many money back, or if you're not rich, if you don't have a sugar daddy or sugar mama, or you get what I'm saying. If you don't have a lot of disposable income, if you're constantly sitting on product and cards and like stuff that you don't want, especially, it becomes this giant lard of mass. I don't know why I said that. it just because you just accumulate so much to the point where it's like, oh, I have all this stuff that is worth something, but what's the point? And so, I became a collector, degenerate, turned accidental investor. And thankfully, luckily, I had chosen the right sets and sets that appreciated and done well. And I've talked about Dream League before, where I bought boxes at 42, 43, sold them at 7, 800. Like, those are like the wonderful stories that happen when you just care about the hobby in your head first. You buy what you like, and then you get kind of lucky. It's not a business model. It's a collector trying to live their childhood dreams now that they're an adult. I feel like a lot of people are doing that, and then along the way they get lucky because the market has gone through multiple bull markets since 2020. It's ridiculous. So that's me. That's the story. I sell a lot. I do primarily now consigning, or I don't consign. I get my stuff consigned. I'll grade, buy singles, get it graded, sent out. I'll sell on ZMG. I'll sell with Dan. I'll sell with Probstein. I'll sell at local shows when I vend. I do a lot of that now, and that's what I've kind of grown into. Before, I was doing a lot of the Pokemon TCG subreddit, trade subreddit. I was doing a lot of eBay. I think I just ran a red light. TCG player, I've done probably, I don't know, a few thousand, several thousand transactions on both. And so I was making use of those platforms in my free time just to sell. And, what would I sell? I'd sell the stuff I bought before. Sealed products, sealed Japanese, sealed English. I would sell a lot of singles. And really, I think for a while I was just selling things that I accumulated that I just didn't want. And, I'm a big proponent of people learning how to sell, because I think that's really when the hobby unlocks itself. You get to see the full kind of spectrum of like buyers and collectors and traders and sellers and vendors. And like, you see how it all works together. And, you kind of learn a lot more about how to be a better buyer when you sell. And, one of the things that stood out to me early on when I first started to sell, I would say the first year of me selling slash no longer just being a degenerate buyer, is I went to a couple of shows, and I saw the same kind of group of guys, vendors there, that I'd seen previously. And every time I would see them, like, their inventory would evolve, and they would always have certain cards in display cases, and I don't know what they're called, like acrylics, that were off limits. Like, they were just showing off the cards, right? And I remember asking them, like, how do you go about growing your collection and also selling? Like, it seems kind of counterintuitive, right? And the thing that stood out to me that that I remember is one of them saying, "You don't grow your collection by buying things that you want to collect." I'm like, "What are you talking about? That's like, isn't that literally how you do it?" What he was trying to explain is, you when you sell, because you're operating within the margins. So if you buy something at 80%, sell it at 100%. You buy something at 70%, sell it at 90%. You take trades in at 80%, you sell whatever you got traded in at 100%, 110%, right? Those margins is how you grow. I mean, you can say it's your business, or you can just say it's like your collection, right? Either way, it's the same thing. And that's when like this light bulb went off my head, where I had been the dummy who had been buying, I used to collect very heavily mid-era X and Y and some Sun and Moon Japanese cards. And the thing I realized about those cards, probably a little too late, is they were, especially X and Y in mid-era, very, very, they were illiquid. They're low liquidity, right? And there's a niche group of people who really like that stuff, but you could say they were undervalued. Honestly, there just wasn't a lot of demand for them. And I didn't quite understand that because I always thought that like Japanese stuff at the time mirrored English. It's just a different language. But there's a lot of Japanese stuff that doesn't translate to English and then vice versa. And so I bought a lot of those different slabs and singles to sell and resell and collect. And at times, like there are some cards I had were very low pop, but they were dead money. I couldn't move them. I'd bring them to shows. I would try to trade them and sell them, and like people around here didn't want them, right? And so just through that process, dealing with illiquid items, dealing with the desire to buy and accumulate, the light bulb that went off my head is like, you don't grow your collection or your business by constantly just buying and buying what you want. You do it by identifying things that are in decent demand or things that you can find buyers for, buying at 70, 80. I mean, during the bear of like the last 2 years, you could probably buy some stuff at like 60%. Buy it at 60, 70, and then you flip it and you sell it or you trade it at 80, 90, 100, sometimes even more. And, if you did that with sealed, there were some Scarlet and Violet boxes I bought a big lot from my friend Fred. He had distribution access. You just kind of get rid of that stuff. I think all in all, when I paid for all this stuff, I got like 3 cases of Scarlet and Violet at a price of like, I want to say $60 a box. $60 a box. And now that box now is going for what, 200, 190, 200. And so like, that's like arbitrage. That's also just understanding that those opportunities, it does not happen if you just are always online. It does not happen if you're like keyboard warrior. Oh my God, what should I buy today? Because the market's pumping. Let's go make bots and go scrape Target and Walmart and all, like you don't get that. And sure, you can make connections with people, their social media followings, but I can tell you that like doing business in person with cash or even just talking to someone face to face, it unlocks so much more opportunity and possibilities than if you try to be like a online, personality. And some businesses are purely online. Totally get it. It works for them. But for the common person, the easiest thing you can do, man, you go to a show, you say, hey, how much can you get how much can I get for this booster box case, or how much can I get for this card? The vendor says like something absurd, 70% to you. And you're like, nah. And you just be honest with them, like, hey, look, I'm really looking for like 90 because this card is like in demand, or this card's pretty rare. Scarcity, whatever reason, right? Those conversations work. They happen all the time. They typically don't happen as much online. So, anyway, this channel is raw, unfiltered. You're welcome, by the way. It's like, what is the point of this video? It's just me talking through my thoughts on collecting, the market, how I feel about what's going on, general advice, I guess. And I'm the type of person who I'm already thinking about 80 different things in my head before I say anything. And so really the platform, the channel, the ability to record and just like say stuff, it allows me to process what I'm thinking. Bear in mind though, sometimes I say stuff, oftentimes I won't upload it, but sometimes I talk and I'll rewatch it and I'm like, I don't know what the hell I just said. So you get raw, unfiltered, just like, here's what I'm thinking based on how I feel that day. And it might be good advice. It might make sense. Sometimes it might not. But I think that's the beauty of, that's why I enjoy doing this, is because I can just speak my mind. And, it is a version of, it is therapeutic, I think. Like I'm very much in my own head all day, every day. I'm very much having conversations with myself. And so if I can get my thoughts out there and just talk, and then engage with people and have the discourse, I think that is meaningful enough for me, and I really like that. So that's it. That's the channel. I think that covers that. By the way, I said Distant Rivals booster box giveaway at 1,000 subscribers. I'm gonna revise that. This video is gonna be the video I point everyone to. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff. Feels weird saying, just do it. And then when Destined Rivals comes out, I am going to pick someone from this video who is subscribed to get that booster box. And who knows along the way. Let's say we get to 500 people, 1,000, 2,000 in the next month. I'm happy to revise and add more things to the giveaway pot, because honestly, you give me your attention. You know, that it's like that guy that does the trading. You trade me your attention and time. I trade you the opportunity to get a booster box of the latest set. So thank you for that. Okay, I'm gonna drive and try not to get in a car crash. We're gonna talk about what am I focusing on and what am I buying and what am I selling. So currently, I mentioned yesterday in the podcast with Java, which if you haven't seen, check it out here, link down below. I don't know if I'm gonna do YouTube annotations or whatever, but yeah, go check it out. And currently I have roughly about 1,000 cards, dear Lord, 1,000 cards out at PSA and then CGC. Yeah, if I had it my way, I would be getting them back sooner and faster, but obviously I don't control that. It's kind of unfortunate. And actually, just one side topic I want to talk about, as I was talking to Java yesterday. Now that I've been through this PSA backlog crap multiple times, I wish I had the balls, and I wish I would have taken more risk 4 or 5 months ago when I saw the window of opportunity. Just like when I saw that gold, if you grade cards, you know what I'm saying. There's like this golden window for like 2 months-ish, where bulk returns are coming back within like 4 weeks. It was amazing. Shame on me. Should have known. Anyway, wish I would have went in deeper. I wish I would have spent more. I just wasn't comfortable, and damn it, I should have. Anyway, shoulda, coulda, woulda. I have a lot of cards out at PSA. That means this summer, which is probably when I'm gonna get most of them back, is gonna be, a very busy time with lots of selling. Thankfully, I get things consigned. But man, in one of the submissions, I have literally 40 Roaring Moons from Terastal. And so I will probably, at the end of the day, if that card sells for like $50 in a PSA 10, I will make probably $5. So cost basis is like $20 to $25 a card, if I had to guess. $15 to grade. That's 10% margin. 15%. It's like, is it worth it? Is it not? Is the sell through? How many other people have hundreds? So I'm laughing because Java yesterday said he had 60. I'm sorry, dude. It's so funny. He had 60 Umbreon Pokeball Hollows from Terastal, and I just feel so bad. But that's the game. Grading is not scalable. It's not. You can do enough of it to pay the bills and grow your business a little bit, but you can't scale it infinitely unless you're doing like mystery bags or selling to streamers. So it's hard. And the main bottleneck obviously is like good quality cards. Man, so I got a lot of stuff at PSA, a lot of Terastal. I got a lot of Pokemon Center ETV promos. I got 3 Fluttermanes that should get a 10. And if you know, that Fluttermane promo in a PSA 10 sold for like 2K. So hopefully the market still wants it. And that's just how this all works. Like, you can't win them all. And I think why I like to complain so much about people just getting in the hobby and learning how to sell. You learn the ropes. You just learn this. You learn all of this, how all of this works. But you don't if you're like on the sidelines and like trying to time the market and trying to time when you should grade, trying to time like when you should buy. It's just like you've wasted so much time trying to time things that you could have learned or lost money and learned, or made money and learned along the way. Anyway, CGC, PSA, a lot of it is modern. I probably have like 25 Mewtwo Vs from Pokemon Go, English and Japanese, out at grading. Bullish, excited. I think the card's great. I I'm the type of person, by the way, maybe it's because I'm a disgusting masochistic freak. When people hate something, I'm like, I'm gonna run head first. And people still don't like Pokemon Go. I've been open about this, right? I like Pokemon Go. It's not the worst set, but just I like how it's a nice little boutique set that's based on the game, and you get Mewtwo as like this amazing full art, looking conqueror dude in a city. I have very high hopes, and I'm putting a lot of the degenerate money and funding into the Mewtwo V in English and Japanese. It's already popped off a little bit. I think right now it's at $150 in a PSA 10, $160. Last month, what is it, April? Beginning of March, it was like 120. And so before then, it stagnated around 80 to 100. So like, it could be on its way. It could also just be going up because everything in the market's going up and like people are just bored. I don't know. But it checks enough of the boxes for me where I feel comfortable. I jokingly said yesterday I want 1% of the population. I think it's like a pop 5,000 card. 50 copies in a PSA 10 would be, at today's price, would be $7,500. So, it's kind of an investment. But these are the things I like to do. These are the decisions I like to make because it's what keeps me excited about the hobby. And I need to be able to have the freedom to do these plays, and they're not like, I'm not being reckless, I think, right? I actually believe that this is a great card. And so I believe it's a great card. I think it has room to grow. I'm going to keep a handful for my collection, and I want to be there at the forefront where, if it goes to like $300 or $500 a card, it might not, then I want to be in a position where I take advantage of that. And that's like, those are the type of games that I like to play that bring me joy in the hobby, because like, I still don't view myself as like a business. I mean, although like technically I'm a business, I just view myself as like a hobbyist trying to have fun, making money along the way, growing the collection, doing questionable things to some people, but to some other people it could be genius, right? And I think like the key in sticking to the hobby for a long time rather, is finding the thing that you actually care about. And like, granted, some people just like money. Sure, I get it. That's very normal. But other people, like, they like to collect certain species. Like there's a guy named, oh man, is it Typhlosion? Does Typhlosion do it? There's another Typhlosion collector. The guy only collects Typhlosions on Instagram and posts, like, the only pictures he posts are like Typhlosion products. That's awesome. Like, find the thing that keeps you going and get excited about it, because like, approach the hobby in the way that you want, but be true to what you want. And I think for me, the trueness of what I want to do is like, I'm genuinely curious. This sounds a little risky. I'm going to commit $5,000 over time to Mewtwo V from Pokemon Go. And people are going to laugh, people are going to have fun, but most importantly, I believe it's a decision that at the end of the day, if I make money, I will be happy. I'll be very happy. If I lose money, I'll be sad. But at least I know it's a decision that I made because it's something that I want to do. I more or less believe it. So Mewtwo V, great card, looks pretty. I like it. That's the first card. Let's talk about the second card. This is one that I think has been a little bit of a sleeper for a while. This card is Pikachu V from Sword and Shield, Black Star promo, Sword Shield 020. I have it memorized by heart because I've been looking every day on eBay for like the last year. This card came in a early Sword and Shield, I don't know if it was a premium collection or like just it's like some type of box. And it is a promo that came with like a little figure and a handful of packs. And I could be getting this wrong, actually. I don't know if it has a figure. The pack selection is obviously not great. It's like Darkness Ablaze and Robo Clash. But it's one that comes in a collection box. And if you know anything about promos, then you would know that a lot of collection box promos, when they come out, they look terrible. They are, the edges can be all crumpled up, messed up. You know, the corners are all messed up. And so, like, that aside, I like that unique part of it where it's not easy to find, not easy to source. The art in itself, I think, is phenomenal. It is early Sword and Shield, so it has the 3 starters in the card with Papa Pika. And in Japanese and Chinese, by the way, this card looks phenomenal. The texture is like amazing. English is kind of just like the yellow border standard treatment, but I like this card. I like this card a lot. I have 10 PSA 10s that I purchased over the last, I would say, 6 months. I bought them early on when they were $100, and now they've gone up to, I think lowest is like $2 to $220. So quietly a sleeper. I like the card. I like the art. I like the uniqueness. I think population wise, there's only like there's 2,000. I was gonna say there's only 2,000. Still is kind of a lot. But this is the kind of card that I look at and I think, you know, I was there for Sword and Shield. I tried to find this product. It was not easy to find. And I opened 1 or 2. And I remember opening up the promos and they just came out all beaten up. So, you know, this is one of those conviction plays where I'm like, I really like this card. I believe in it. It's unique enough. There's only so many available. I bought up all of eBay because I really believe in it, and hopefully it does well. Pikachu promos, though. Let's see. How do I want to phrase this so I don't sound like a complete moron? Many Pikachu promos in English are not of that caliber of value of like several hundred to $1,000 cards. What did I just say? There are many Pikachu promos in English that don't go anywhere. Like they stay at like 100, a couple hundred. And so me buying it is very heavy speculation that like, because it's early Sword and Shield, as the Sword and Shield starters, that it's going to go up. Like there are a lot of Pikachu cards that are unique that just don't grow. And so this could be one of those cases. This could also be one of those cases where like, hey, Sun and Moon GX promos, a lot of the 10 promos, you have the Pikachu Zekrom, Celebi Venusaur, you have, you know, Darkrai Umbreon. Those cards are taking off. They are 600, 700, 800 plus, right? And I think that Mewtwo that's the one that catches, that surprises me the most. I saw it recently at the show I went to 2 weeks ago, and it was going for, the new floor for it was like 600, 650. And I was like, oh man, I should probably get one just for the collection and maybe just have. And I remember looking at the population, and I think it was like 6,000 or something like that in a PSA 10. That's a lot. That's a ton. So the population skyrocketed, or sorry, the price skyrocketed. There's a lot in circulation. Is the price going to hold up? Are there kind of just pocket collectors out there who just haven't listed them? I look at those cards and I'm like, there's way more of them that exist. They're just as hard to get in condition, right? Because they come out of the collection boxes and the plastic wrap. And so I look at my Pika. I have decent conviction. I believe in it. Why not? Park a little bit of money. If I'm wrong in 3, 6, 12 months, then so be it. But, you know, again, another example of a play, a thing that I'm doing that exists alongside me constantly churning singles, churning graded cards, churning sealed. And that's like the mini game I like to play. It's picking. I don't do this with sealed because I think it's sealed is kind of like just buy the cheapest thing, or just buy the thing that's appreciated a little bit, and buy a lot of it. With cards, card speculation is incredibly risky. It's like there's no guarantee There is, you know, you get some cards that are stuck at certain price floors for a long time. You know, I'm hitting myself on the head because I had the Skull Pika that I graded. It sat at like 2,500 for, I think, most of last year. And it then randomly just shot up to 4,000. I traded right before it shot up. It was still going for 2,500. I thought I got a deal. The second weekend that Prismatic came out, or third weekend, I got a PSC 10 Umbreon from Prismatic. English. I traded the Skull Pika in like $500 for it. And I was being stupid. I also got something else. I forgot what it was. I was being dumb, but I wanted to capitalize on the Umbreon hype. And I got the Umbreon. I sold it. I think it ended up selling for like 3,400. So like, I made $400 of profit ish. And then the Skull Pika went up to 4K. And it's like, what caused that? The boom? Whales? I have no idea, right? But the point is, like, speculating hard on cards is very unpredictable. Bull market or not, bear market, whatever you want to call it, like, sometimes things go up for absolutely no reason. And so there's a reason why, you know, I mean, rants again. When I see people talk about market content and cards going up and they're not actually buying it, seems kind of weird. But like, if you're pumping a card and you don't actually own it, you're just trying to get people excited about it, I would much rather someone pump a card and own it and be honest about it, because then I know they are really convicted and they believe in the card, than people who make content that just pumps everything in the market. They have no accountability. They're not buying any of the stuff. They're just kind of like, oh yeah, this is going up, this is going up. And if anything goes wrong, goes down, like, no skin off their back because they didn't buy any of that stuff, right? For me, like, I'm openly talking about, I am buying every single Mewtwo V I can find within budget. I am buying every Pikachu Sword SWSH 020 Black Star promo in a PC 10 I can find. I'm openly saying that because I strongly believe, and again, if it pans out, I want to be at the forefront of benefiting. I also want people to know that I had the balls to do it. Balls? I was dumb enough to do it. It's all the same thing. Anyway, those are two things that I'm buying. Perhaps you'll buy two, perhaps not. It doesn't matter to me. Like, you do you. It doesn't matter. Buy what you like. Figure out what you like. And I think that's the key thing. Most people don't know what they want. They want to be told what they want. And, you know, the Pokemon Go fairy didn't, like, sprinkle their dust on me at night. Or the you know, Sword and Shield 020 Pikachu fairy didn't do that to me. I just decided I really like this, and I'm crazy enough, and I want to buy a lot of them, and let's see what happens. So, all right, stereotypical fashion, this is a long ass video. Welcome to the new channel. If you could, always leave me a comment, a like, super appreciated, helps. It really does. General thoughts, questions, like, I love responding to comments. If you've seen my other videos on the other channel, like, I respond to like literally everything. Part of it's just to get the engagement up, but part of it's like, I just want to hear, I want to see faces, I want to see what people are talking about. So if you could do that, and also if you like the channel, you like the content, spread it, share it, and yeah, that's it. This video, like, comment, subscribe. When Destined Rivals comes out, I will pick a winner for the booster box. That's all you gotta do. Like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate it. I think that's it for me. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate the support more than you know. And Pokemon Go, baby. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.